Well, welcome to my corporate journey. And I'm sure you'll soon know why I'm using the channel's name today. Welcome to my corporate journey. And if you are new here, I'm Tisha Oliphant, born and bred in South Africa. And welcome. I hope you love it here. We talk all things corporate life and we talk about investments, which happens to touch on us, talking about businesses as well. And certainly, once we've made the money, we travel. So you will see some travel content as well. So, and if that resonates with you, please do subscribe, guys. Please do subscribe to the channel and do not forget to like this video and all the other videos that you will watch on this channel. And if you've always been here, thank you so much, my OGs. I truly appreciate your love. I see you, I know you, and there's names that I'm so familiar with because they comment often, they share the channel, you guys interact, you like, you've subscribed already because you just love what you hear when I come on live. And I want to say thank you so very much. And may nje uGod anenze njalo jabulile noshabalala. I see you. Hi, Sissy, you also beautiful. Beauty is beauty. And the reason why I said welcome to my corporate journey is because today I want us to talk about my honest opinion about corporate. As some of you know, and those who do not know, I worked for corporate for almost 3 decades. So, yes, started in corporate when I was still a teenager, young and fresh, and yeah, stayed there for years. And only last year, 2023, I really decided to hang my apron and say, genoeg is genoeg. Thank you so much, and decided to take a gap year, and I traveled for 7 months. And now that I'm back, I was just reflecting and I thought, I often hear people in other social media platforms or when they speak to friends and families, they quick to say, oh, you know what? It's not worth it. You shouldn't be working for someone else. There's even a saying that if you don't work on your dreams, you will work for someone to realize their dreams. So basically, if you don't start your own business, it means you will be employed by someone who has a business for you to grow that person's business. And guys, I want to give you my honest opinion, and I hope this video will reach someone who's still much younger, who's still deciding, maybe in varsity, whether after varsity they want to go straight to the workplace, doesn't have to be corporate, or they will be starting their own business. And it is not a one size fit all, but this is my honest opinion about my corporate journey. So, corporate taught me a lot, and there is no ways I would be able to squeeze everything in this one video. Most probably I'll come back with part two. So there's lots of disciplines, skills, and knowledge that I learned from corporate, apart from learning from higher education or when I did my certification and did courses, or even from online stuff where one tends to learn continuously. Corporate life, as you know, I'm a product of corporate through and through. Grew up there, was raised by corporate, and I behave like a corporate lady. How I do my things, how I handle myself, because I was groomed a corporate. So those disciplines are within me, they are engraved in me. And there's days where, even when I'm no longer there, I'm reminded of who I am. which direction to take. And I thought I'll share this with you. Number one, corporate taught me a routine. There's no such thing, Gucci, from Monday to Friday. You will wake up and say, oh, today I don't feel like it, therefore I want to sleep in. When I worked for corporate, I was expected to show up, and I showed up every single day without fail. So that has helped me so much so that even now, when I'm no longer there, I'm still up early. There's a routine. When I wake up, I pray. After praying, I make sure I drink my water. Then I head to the bathroom. Then I do ABCD. Yes, I no longer wake up after everything is done. I don't no longer pack my lunch and then go into my car and drive to work. However, the discipline is still there. The routine is still there. I still wake up early, sometimes train. So it means I'll wake up and make sure I take care of my wellness, my fitness side of things, because corporate engraved that. I had to wake up early every single day to get ready to go to corporate. Even during COVID, yes, I worked from home. However, I didn't work from my bed like the videos that I often see. I made sure I wake up, I take a shower so that I can think straight, I can get the work done, because I don't think you can get much done laying in your bed. And it is sad when I see people who are brilliant because they went to school, who are brilliant because they are gifted, but they just struggle to even get out of bed in the morning and get the work done. Because you can be brilliant all you want. You can be a dreamer, you can be creative, but if you don't stand up, if you don't wake up from those dreams and put them into reality, nothing comes about, guys. We can't fool one another. So I am grateful to incorporate. Yes, in winter, it used to be painful because it's freezing. Some winter days were even colder, but I was expected to show up. And till this day, that helps me in running the businesses that I'm running. Ukuthi I cannot sleep. I cannot say, oh, it's too cold today. Maybe let me sleep a bit. I'll worry about my stomach next week. This stomach wants food every day. So every day I wake up, I get ready, and I show up and I give it my all. So there is one thing I learned, a routine, and it has remained with me. Although I'm not one to do same old. I like to zhuzh things up so that I feel alive. It's very important for me to have that purpose, Gule life. I didn't come to this earth. Even when I would drive to work, I will not take the same route every day. I will not pack the same lunch every day. Sometimes I'll invite a friend or a colleague rather, and we'll eat lunch together. There'll be days where I'll take a different route to get to work. There'll be days where I'll even work during my lunchtime because I just can't stand doing the same things over, repeatable, and non-stop, same old, same old, same old. So another thing that I learned there is to cultivate relationships. Guys, when we say worth, your net work is your net worth, it is exactly that. It's about who you know. I've built so many relationships that when I came back from my travels, and last year, was it last year? I think I contacted this because I came back late last year around November. I think it was early this year before I went to Turkey to sort out some business side of things with my daughter there. I contacted a colleague of mine whom we've built an awesome relationship over the years. And this colleague became a friend when I just started working. So you can just imagine it's been over 20 years since we've had this friendship. I contacted her and just to tell her I'm back and to say when can we catch up, to show one another pictures and share and lessons learned and find out how's life for her in corporate still. And her words, when you learn to build relationships in corporate that you take with you, to actually express or continue with those lessons in your own personal life, in your business, guys, very crucial. She said to me, "Are you back, friend?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Send me your CV. I'll see what I can do for you." And she's one of the senior people in corporate. She's climbed the ladder. She's done well for herself. Because I cultivated those relationships. I've respected people that I worked with. Some left before I left. Some I left in previous companies, but I still touch base with them. Corporate taught me my network is my net worth. Umuntu ngabantu, a mens is a mens ter ander mense. You are nothing without the next person. We are not meant to live like islands. So we can't operate in silos. We need one another. Send me your CV. I'll see what I can do. And at that time, even now, I wasn't ready to go back. But that statement made me realize that I'm on the right track, that I got this relationship building skill correct. Because people that I've touched along my journey in corporate, most are gone, no contact, but those that I kept, I will not go to bed hungry while I still have them. So I've learned, Gucci, relationships are everything. I've got my notes here, guys. I don't want to leave out anything. So I want to teach you. If you've met someone along the way, whether your supplier, whether your customer, and that person speaks your language, keep them in your contacts. You might need them tomorrow. And as I'm talking about my honest opinion about corporate, how it has helped me post corporate while I'm on this gap here, and how it has just, guys, grown my business and everything on the side that I'm doing from the lessons that I've learned in corporate. I would like to know from you, what have you learned in your workplace? Doesn't have to be corporate. If you are in the public sector, do share. If you are in mining, do share. If you are in the beauty space, tourism, if you are working, what will you take with you the day you decide to go and start your own thing? How are those lessons and skills and tools gonna help you succeed in your business? Because Mina, what I've learned have really contributed positively in everything that I'm running with outside of incorporate. Ujabulile is saying relationship building is crucial. There's people who are just fighters, and they fight with everyone. And yes, we are different. You don't have to be an extrovert like some of us. I'm an extrovert. I get along very well with so many people. I'm approachable. I'm easy to talk to. Although some people say there's tunes, which I sometimes wonder a lot of people butting their stools. But I'm approachable and I respect other people. And when you build those relationships, they'll take you far. Because there's people who know, Gucci, when they need something, they can touch base with me or let me know, I will get it done. And not because I will personally get it done, because I know someone who knows someone, you know, and they will direct me to the right path. If right now I'm facing a legal battle, I'll know exactly who to speak to get the matter sorted. And they will send me to the right lawyer or attorney who will be able to assist me based on the relationships that I always build as I live my life. So do not disrespect our relationships. Do not take people for granted. Do not look down on anyone and think you only ought to build relationships with the CEOs, COOs, heads of department, senior people. Build relationships even with interns, because each and every person on this earth can change your life in a way that will shock you. I've got awesome relationships with car guards. A person that some of individuals, they get out of their cars, they don't even greet them, and yet you've left your car behind hide to walk into a center, to walk into a doctor's room, to walk into a mall. Who's taking care of that car? Should something go wrong, who will assist you? Who will be the first person to run and assist you? So crucial, build relationships. If you'll ever leave, it's not even about that. They will come handy one day. I still have relationships. Like I'm saying, this friend of mine, it was my first company that I worked for. Yet 20 years later, she's able to say, give me your CV, I'll get you sorted. So very important. And another one that I want to touch on that I've learned in corporate is respect. Respect of with regards to your colleagues. You know, we young or old doesn't mean when you've got someone fresh, a fresh graduate from varsity, us who've been at the old crocs, you now disrespect I'm done. You respect people for their positions, for who they are. Before anything, for ukuthi bahabantu, they are human beings before their titles and their jobs. So in corporate, there's no such thing. Oh, umntwana, you are young, you can't tell me anything. I've been here for too long. Respect. Respect your colleagues. Respect your people. Oh, thank you so much, Jablile, for joining in membership. Truly appreciate this. May God bless you. Respect your the stakeholders, the people that sends you work for you to be able to put your presentations together, to put your report together. Respect your seniors, and respect your suppliers if you are in an industry where you work with other suppliers. Respect your customers, guys. I was talking to someone this morning, and this made me make this video. I wanted to do is equities, which we'll touch on the next week, but it just made me realize how much good came out of me working for corporate, guys. I'll remain grateful, and I'll walk back with my head held high the day I decide to go back. Because the way that woman spoke to me as a potential customer, I had to pick up the phone and, just teach her and school her ukuthi you do not speak to your potential customers like that. You do not speak to your existing customers like that, because you don't know who's on the other side of the phone. You might miss out on a contract that would have set you free for life, even your children's children. So you don't respect people who buys in bulk and disrespect someone who only buys one product from you. You respect everyone. Whether you can match the face with the voice, you still respect. I respect Usis Jablile. The fact ukuthi I don't know her means nothing. She's today became my member. So it means she's thanking me, she's appreciating my content, and I'll be able to buy something special, ngale 40 rands that she'll be paying out of her own children's money or her own family's money, loved ones' money to show me love. We respect, guys. And corporate teaches you customer service. You give service without expecting anything back. And you are conscious when it's like someone sending you an email or writing a message with capital letters. We are taught that is screaming, that is shouting. But if you've never put your foot in corporate, you don't know that. You know, there's so much that you are taught on how to even behave, how to read between the lines, how to read the room. There's things you don't just say because there's people who are sitting there who don't deserve to hear such. There's a place and time for everything. When you are in that space, you act professionally. And then that goes back to Indabayani, your brand. We all are our own brands. It's not Nonzi who's a brand, Pela. Usijabulile is a brand. U-Olwethu is a brand. And you handle your brand in a certain way. And I've learned that from corporate. Hence, I'm managing my daughter's brand with dignity and respect. And I'm able to guide her when she needs to be guided. With Sissy, that will tarnish your brand forever. And then she makes decisions because she's an adult that she will be able to stomach 10 years from now. But it taught me to respect this brand and be able to respect the brand that is attached to a business. You guys cannot see me doing something that is against what I believe in. So no matter how upset I can be, there's no need for me to swear at a person. I can voice my dissatisfaction, my frustration, which I'm good at. I stand up, guys. I'm assertive in corporate words. I am very assertive, Gavin. I stand up for what I believe in, but with respect and dignity. I don't keep quiet. I don't order beef and someone gives me chicken and I sit there quietly in my corner eating a chicken and I order. Politely, I will call a waitress or waiter and explain that, sorry, sir, I did not order this because those were the lessons that I was taught. Yes, at home, by my parents, by the community, by the village, and they were engraved over the years at corporate. Because, guys, if you keep quiet, it's dog eat dog. Sad to say that, but it's the reality. You stand up for what you believe in. You present and they eat you finish when you don't know your business, when the questions are posed at you during our meetings or presentation sessions. You ought to know your story. And if you don't stand up and defend yourself and have the right facts and go in well prepared, and where you are unsure, you say it with, guys, with confidence. I will go and get more information and revert back. Can I park that? Bazokudla finish a corporate. And in your business, if you are not able to do that with your suppliers, with your customers, unfortunately, I cannot offer that because you only paid so much. So much only gets you this the standard package and not the premium package. It will cost you more if you need extra because you are taught that in corporate. You lose money in business. You lose money. You need to be able to uthi le brand while protecting it, which is your brand. You also say what's on your mind, what's in your mind, but with respect and dignity. Uthi Sisi, I see you Bonisile, Life of Tandy in Slow Town House. Hi Sisi, always to welcome. Yo kodwa baba emsebenzini kodwa ngesinye isikhathi kuyafika nje ukuthi ngithi kungavulwa i-boxing ring what. So those who don't understand, this is Tandy says at work it's not as easy as I say it. Sometimes you just want a boxing match because yeah, people do take advantage, and we all know we come from different backgrounds with different beliefs and teachings, how we were raised. Others are a bit rude, how they say things is distasteful. But because you are at work, you are expected to behave in a certain manner. And I know there's people who've lost it even in the workplace or space, and just gave that first. But we know Gusi, you can't because you lose your job. And the guys touching on that, okay, let me finish off the brand. And the reason why you learn to carry yourself in a certain manner is because in corporate, a brand is everything. You cannot wear your company's t-shirt and be seen doing certain things that are contrary to the company that you work for because you'll be tarnishing a brand. Some companies go as far as appointing brand managers, which means there's someone who upholds the brand, who respects the brand, who protects the brand, and we are all expected to do the same as our employees. So that has taught me nami ukuthi, and from young, as I'm saying, I was a teenager when I joined a corporate. So I learned these lessons years back. Good, I'm a brand. If I respect my company's brand, I ought to respect this brand that is me. How I dress up, how I speak, how I produce my work, it needs to be of a certain quality. So a brand is everything. And you can build a brand, and it takes you years to build a brand. We know that. And to that brand to go down under, finish klar with the brand takes few minutes. Now with social media, it's worse. You can work for years building a certain brand for your company, even the big companies, whether it's banking industries, but it will take few days for followers or social media, people to just get that brand on the floor. And we saw it when it happened a few days ago. I don't even have to mention names. Ukuthi, how easily can a brand be destroyed? And we see it every day. So protect your brand at all cost. And these are some of the lessons that once you've learned them in corporate, you can apply them in your own business and protect your own brand. Very important. And when you've fallen short, because we are human beings, we do fall short. Go back to your customers, apologize, and be very careful of sending voice notes that are vulgar and what, because people can put you on social media. Be very, don't do it. It's not why. Why are you swearing? Don't write a long, unprofessional letter or message to your potential customer or to your customer after they've complained. They'll put it on social media, and your brand can go under, down the drain, kaput, that's it, overnight. And whether you would have spent so many, and those are so many years building it, those are the things that corporate taught me to respect my brand, to respect my daughter's brand. And guys, you will not have the knowledge nor the skills for everything. The business needs someone who's great with sales, with numbers, because without someone knowing the books and the monies, the profits will not exist. Need someone who can run the marketing side, sales, marketing, customer service. There's a lot that needs to be handled. And you might not know everything. Hire someone who specializes in that. If we ask ukuthi wena bowukhuluma uyidlapha, you speak nje like you just fell from the sky, why would you then put yourself as a brand manager or a communications manager or a PR person in your business? You're going to tarnish that business. You don't belong there. Remain at the back. if you struggle with the front line, and hire people who are professional, who went to school. Others are born like that. They've got a way of saying things that melts other people's hearts. They're charismatic like that. Even being charismatic goes a long way. So just know yourself, be truthful with yourself, who you are, your skills, your knowledge, and then go with your strengths. And where it's weaknesses, leave it for those who are great at it, and just focus on where you are great at. You cannot be Ujack of all trades because you're gonna be a master of none. You know? So be very careful. And then touching on Sis Jablile about a boxing ring. Guys, emotions cost us a fortune. You always have to be in touch of your emotions and put your emotions aside, guys. And I know it's tough. We spoke about what you should be doing when the markets are really struggling like that, when things are going down, or infertility and all that. If you put your emotions into it, guys, I promise you, you're gonna lose money. Same thing applies. If you are an emotional being, you won't get far in life because people have a way of pressing us, our buttons, so that we react. Train yourself. There are classes that you can go for. You can also breathe when you feel ukuthi naku kuzongena ku-boxing ring, nakuzomshaya ngequpha lo uyakujwayela. And just breathe or walk out and just go and compose yourself. Pull yourself towards yourself and then come back. Go to the bathroom, go grab a cup of tea or coffee, go speak to someone who always brings a smile on your face. And corporate taught me that, ukuthi, emotions aside, I work with people from different walks of life, yeah, different ages. Our age gaps sometimes are scary. Even the skills, then the knowledge you find, Gucci, there's guys with masters, and yet there's someone who just did a metric. And guys, there will always be a difference. I'm not saying someone who has masters is much brilliant than someone who just did a metric, but there's always a gap because maybe that one has the ego side of things. Gucci, I'm an academic and I know more. And when now you can't deal with your emotions as a matriculant or someone who just has a metric as their high education, yeah, you're gonna lose it. And there's people who do things a certain way. They are pushy, they will rush you and want you to give your piece of work while you're still busy with it. And the person that's busy pushing you, they haven't even started with theirs. Or there's guys who, let's not talk about smokers, and nothing against smokers, they are brilliant smokers. But there are smokers who are constantly quick corridor smoking while others are working hard. And that can really also drive you to to drinks and small boys, if I may say that. But then you always constantly have to be in check with your emotions. And my honest opinion, corporate taught me that. I also lose it. I'm a human being. But there's times where I sit back and I say, is it worth it? We ought to know which battles to fight. There are battles, sometimes we ought to lose the battle and win the war. There are battles that are not worth our energy, that are not worth our time. So just let people be and keep your distance, keep it professional. If you have to work closely with that person, be upfront to go to know, man. As you can see, we just have that thing at Lashayo between me and you. But because we are here to work, we are expected to output is expected, deliverables are expected. Let's respect one another. We don't need to be chobbies, we don't need to drink coffee together, we don't need to even smile at one another. Morning, when I'm morning everyone, it is more than enough. Can we say yes to that and keep it moving? Because there's a bigger picture here, and the bigger picture is the company's uh, uh, strategies that and goals and all that that ought to be met. So we cannot allow this pettiness to now halt our deliverables and the bigger picture of everything, So those company strategies must now be put aside because now we've got differences, and professionalism is about that. And I hope you work with people like that. We are emotional beings, guys. We get ticked off very easily. There's people which we don't feel, but they've done nothing to us. It's part of being a human being. But we ought to always check in, check the pulse and say, is it worth it? No. No, always know your big why. And always know what is expected of you, and do not lose focus. Don't move your eyes from the prize. Have them fixed all the time. It will work well, and accept things for what they are. If there's people that you just don't gel with, always remind yourself, good, I'm here to work for my kids, I'm here to better my life, I've got a future that when I just sit and I close my eyes, it's bigger than me. And I cannot allow this person to stand between me and that bright future that I'm here for. And just keep it at that. Emotional intelligence. But exactly, sis, iyafuneka emsebenzini because some people are bullies. And there's lots of bullies. We often talk about bullies at school, and understandably so, because we were much younger, and you find good we couldn't fight for ourselves, we didn't know better, and now it's much better because we are adults. But guys, people are still bullied even in their old age, and that is not nice at all, and you cannot tolerate it, and you ought to be straightforward and be, yeah, say it as it is, obviously with respect. No need to swear. You can get your point across without swearing at people, and have people that they're not your friends, they just colleagues, or even less of colleagues, because even your colleagues are not your friends, but you still respect one another. And once you master emotional intelligence, knowing, dealing with your emotions, reading the room, knowing when to say what and how and to who. You can't, like how you never speak to your 2-year-old the way you'll speak to your 12-year-old, your child who's now an adult, your priest, your teacher. That's exactly what we are talking about. And once you master that, even in your business, the day you leave corporate world to go and start your own thing, because I know there's people who aspire for that, who says, I'm here to learn as much as I can and take it to my own business, you will not struggle. Because remember, even in your business, you might not work alone. I don't think your aim is to work alone in your business. In business, you work as a team. You're gonna employ people. And when you struggle with emotional intelligence, how are you even going to run that business? You're gonna scream and bang. And I've seen people who have businesses losing it in front of us, customers, and screaming at their employees, and I stand there and say, but you don't have to treat you. Even if the person failed to bring their 100%, after the customers are gone, then you can take them aside. Those are the people skills that I personally learned in corporate. Teamwork, interpersonal skills, be able to listen to others and not yep, like I'm doing now, but at least Amos Mama also adding, so I'm not talking. Corporate teaches you good, you are not all that, be that. There's people who are much more knowledgeable than you. There are people who are much more educated than you. There's people who have more experience. It doesn't, you walk in with all your papers, maybe you've got a master's degree, and you find someone who's been in that company for the past 14 years, we position for 5 years, and I can tell you now, you ought to humble yourself and learn from that person, because when are you bringing in theory, then they are with the skill. And there's companies who will choose experience over theory. You will tell you, yes, fresh from varsity with all the justices and others are referred to as overqualified, but they'll tell you, I'd rather have someone who has the experience, who's able or willing with an attitude to learn while they are working, because then there won't be a lot of questions. The person always can work, independently. They won't be asking too many questions. That also helps. So you respect yourself with your degrees and your jazzes that you'll be wearing, whether red or black, and respect that you'll find someone who has more experience. And that might be younger people. If you've been unemployed for a while, and you end up going back, like in my case, the day I go back to corporate, I'll find a younger person who would have gained more experience for 2 years, which I would have stayed at home. I ought to respect that person. Listen to what they say. Understand. Speak when I have to. Not it's all about you when who Mr. or Mrs. Know It All, Sizwa Gawe. No, corporate teaches you that there's people who knows a lot. And when you are a person who's open minded and has a teachable spirit, you can learn so much. And guys, that's the part I miss the most in corporate life. I'll go back any day just for those relationships, just to go and meet people who come from different spheres of lives, not from my house with the way I've been programmed over the years, the stuff that I read, but the books that I read, the podcasts that I listen to, they come with a completely different frame of mind. Their topics are completely different. Maybe they talk more about cars, while I talk more about, self growth and self care and making sure that mentally you're strong, while I talk more about making sure that you don't just work, 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 work. You invest your money, you go on holiday to rejuvenate. They bring a fresh perspective. So you learn that teamwork makes dream work, and you respect others. And when you come into business, like right now, I apply those skills. I don't write an email or a message where I say I will, we will, because in this business, there's more than one person. I might be the forefront in terms of responding to emails, in terms of talking to customers, but it's a we. Once you master that we, you are gone. If it's I, like the guy I was listening to saying how I started this business from this, I had to do this, I had to. And yet, there are people who said they contributed to the business. And I don't want to go into detail because this is a family affair. And I sat there and I thought to myself, how can it be I, guys? Because in most cases, it's we. There'll always be someone who would have helped you to build. And talking about that, as I've said, learn from one another, learn from people who've been there, learn, that how things are done, the skills, the how to sit with people. You on job training, you watch how they do it and you mimic that, and you're good to go. Learn in varsity. Go do your thing in a college. It doesn't matter, guys, as long as you are learning. Go on YouTube, listen to subject matter experts, share their journeys, like I'm sharing my journey and what I've learned from my corporate journey and how I'm applying all these disciplines in my day-to-day life outside corporate, in my business. And guys, that's how we grow. That is how we grow. And guys, I wanna urge you, if you're gonna start a business or you planning to study, further your studies or study from afresh, always go to people who've walked that journey. Guys, you ought to understudy people. If your dream is to be a professor and you are already on that road towards Ubu Professor, go approach professors who've been in industry for years. You will learn so much. so much. If you've just been appointed as a CFO, chief uh, finance officer. I'm thinking of forensic. I don't know why I'm thinking of forensics because of fraud. Chief finance officer, go sit with them, learn from them. Sometimes people are too busy. Ask for just an hour and ask relevant questions. Never look down on people. Never think you know more than them. We learn every day. I've learned so much over the years, but I'm still learning. And again, Mina, I don't only get comfortable because my specialty, those who know, I'm a risk and compliance, a certified risk and compliance practitioner. But I'm happy to learn in other industries as well. I've spent my life both in the financial space and insurance. I've worked for an insurance industry. But if someone were to come from a different industry altogether, I'll sit down and learn because there's skills, there's knowledge, there's learnings, there's a lot that I'll be able to take from there and apply in my daily life and win. And win. Knowledge is power. I've learned that also, Mom, we don't use yes, in corporate, there's lots of things, Chablile, that people don't even know, and they take for granted. And maybe you just missed that job opportunity because you said something that we've learned, Tina Chablile, corporate kuti, it's a turn off. Don't say the do's and don'ts when you go for an interview. The do's and don'ts when you work with the team. The do's and don'ts when you're working on a project. But if you didn't get an opportunity, how then? So I often get shocked when people sit in front of the camera and tell other people, don't go work in corporate, you become a 9 to 5 slave. And I think to myself, sure. That is so sad. If only people, and in other cases, it's people who've worked in corporate that are discouraging others just because when they were there, it didn't work out, or when they left, their business failed for whatever reason. Now the reasons they're discouraging everyone else. Guys, there's positive that comes out of working for corporate before you even start your business. You can start your business and end up in corporate, but I bet you if you did it the other way around, you'll be amazed at how well you will run your business. Well-oiled machine. You'll be a and an all-rounder because you come in with so many skills. And what else? And my honest opinion about corporate, the technological side of things. People of my age, not to say I'm old, and today I've gone back to being my younger self with the outfits. People who are my age, some struggle. I've got a lady who left a comment and said, I love to invest, but I'm not technologically inclined. And it's sad, guys. Where do you even start? So corporate gave me an opportunity from when I was a teenager to have those days. It wasn't even laptops. I don't even think laptops were around, but it was desktops, to sit in front of my desktop, put an Excel spreadsheet together, present it to my seniors, and presentation skills. I learned a lot from this. So there's people who don't even know what's Microsoft, how to even hold a mouse. So there's positive that comes with working a corporate. There's just a lot, guys. You always listen to the news. You always need to know what's going on around in your industry. So Jay, you're smart, or you sound smart, because the knowledge keeps on coming. Your colleague shares, Guti, oh guys, I decided to just let go of my shares because of this. And if you don't know about share investing, you start asking questions. By the time you go home, you've learned something new, and you don't work with one colleague. The other one shares about uh, giving birth. While I was in my ward, I decided that the doctor must give me an epidural. You're like, what's epidural? You start Googling. And if you are much closer to that person, you ask them, if and this will not offend you, or it's not too personal for you. Do you mind to share what epidural is? And the day you fall pregnant and you are okay, you know, Gucci, I never go for epidural. I'm not gonna suffer pain when there's relief right at the doctor's tips or the doorstep. So there is always learnings, and you take that with to your business. In terms of technological tools or technology, you now sit in front of your laptop in your own office, in your business, and you put the spreadsheets together. You make sure you document, you've got a data of who orders what, and you end up having a full understanding of which product sells the most. Yes, you can employ a bookkeeper to do that, but we all know while you're starting out the business, you run almost everything because the financials don't allow you at the in the beginning. As time goes on, when the business grows, then you start employing more people. So those skills that you would have acquired in corporate come handy. You know, the phone, you know how to send a WhatsApp, you know how to switch on the Facebook, where to make sure that your passwords are protected from the people that tend to hack our phones and take over our pages. And because the page is already monetized, they can make money out and milk it while you are left out and dry. So the corporate world or your workplace, I'll talk about corporate because I'm a corporate honey or ex-corporate person, but you will refer to your own workplace. Don't look at it and disrespect it. Yes, there's days where you're gonna feel down, there's days where you're gonna feel like you don't wanna go to work, but emotions aside, you ought to show up. Know your big why. Why are you there in the first place? And that will keep you going all the time. I had my big whys as I was ticking them, and the one that was left was to travel the world back to back, non-stop, not only when I'm on leave, and then even when I'm on leave, I'm worried, oh, by the way, I was told there's a new project that I need to take over when I go back, and then I choke on my cocktail. No, my other big why was I want to leave corporate and take a gap here and just travel. And because my why was so big, I focused, guys. There were days when things were really tough. You know, there were days where I met bullies and I stood up bullies, but it left me feeling blood pressure yami skyrocketing. But I still reported back the next day because I knew my why was bigger than anything else. And when the time was right, that's when I decided, okay, thank you, Lord. Thank you, corporate. You have fed me. It's time for me to go and live my dream. And while you earn your salary, no matter how small it is, if there is such a thing as the money small, there's people who earn less, but they just manage their finances better. There's people who earn a fortune and they donor their money like crazy, like they fighting with their income or salaries. So I often wonder, Guti, is there such thing as little money? But I'll leave that for my people on this platform to define that. But no matter how much you earn, better your salary in corporate, look after it. Put aside as much as you can. I'm not saying starve, get into debt, live a miserable life, but just put aside for your dreams. We spoke about that FU fund. Put money for that into that FU fund. Direct your funds there, direct your salary there, so that one day when you wake up and you feel good, you've got zilch left in terms of motivation and saying, oh, my big why, I can do this. No one can make me leave that place. I'm also there for the same reasons, for my children, for my dreams. You say, okay, I've fought a good fight, it's time for me to pack and go. And thank you so much, darlings, for listening. May the Almighty God continue to protect you. May you prosper in your workspace, whether it's corporate wealth, whether you're in mining, wherever you are, or health industry, or in logistics. Oh, because oh my word, we've got so many industries. And that's why I often wonder, why uhlezi isicathulo besikumpintsha? Why are you still in that company if it's no longer serving you? Guys, there are so many companies. I don't know whether I'm the only one. While driving on the freeway or highway rather, I will look at the companies on the side. Guys, it's some I don't even know what they specialize in. There's tons and tons of companies. When you really feel exhausted and you like, I can't take it anymore, look elsewhere. And I promise you, the skills, the disciplines, the knowledge that you're gonna acquire there, you'll be able to take it to your business. That's if one day you want to own your time and run certain, businesses apart from waking up and going to build someone else's business, but and building someone else's dream. But if you're still building someone else's dream, it's okay. Don't just park yours and forget about yours or chuck it away. Make sure that you constantly remind yourself that I'm here to gain knowledge. I'm here to get money to be able to pursue what I love. Uthini kusisi wami, I'm in IT space and my baby, I've learned a patience. Jabulile, my child, you kill me because I always tease the IT. I would love to know what you're doing in IT. It would be very interesting. Like is it the admin side of IT, troubleshooting type of, you will understand it better. When I would take, let me speak for myself, my laptop to them, I'll say, hi, IT guys. Then they'll tell you it will be ready, it will be, what must then happen? Must I sit and wait for my laptop for the next 4 hours while they fiddling? So I used to tease them, you IT guys, it's like you don't know what you're doing. You just press and you're like, it worked. And you press, it's not working. So the IT people are very interesting. But I would love to know what exactly but you are in the right field, Sissy, and there's so much demand, yeah, and I think less supply. So, yeah, and if you can take it further, or maybe you're already further, because since I don't have much in terms of where you are at, in terms of your skills and what you've studied, IT. The world is your oyster. You can even go abroad and work there, and not physically go abroad. You can still be here and working for companies abroad, because if you are in IT, analyzing data these days, coding, you are a developer, you've got this thing, there's now AI. The world is your oyster. I would love to bring IT. I was thinking, maybe I need to branch from the risk space and still keep my risk, because risk is the backbone of any business. And just learn ropes with IT. But I'm actually writing my goals now and my wise life of Tandy in Slow Town. Please do. And Life of Tandy in Slow Town. Please do WhatsApp me. Follow me on Facebook. Feel at home, and you'll get my WhatsApp number there. And please do WhatsApp me. I would like to talk to you offline. We love you, mom. Thank you. We learn a lot from you. Pleasure, Sissy. I learn a lot from you. And thank you for always interacting, guys. I truly appreciate, and it just warms my heart. When you speak to like-minded people, I can't explain it, guys. I tell you all the time, when you are a traveler like me and you come across someone who enjoys traveling and they share, they've been to a certain country that you're planning to go, you already have some of the notes together, or a country that you've been, and you tell them how awesome, it just becomes something else. It's just, or a feeling that cannot be explained. So when I sit here and talk about investing, I talk about corporate, I talk about businesses, and I talk about traveling, and you guys just come in and say, "Ba, from my end, I've tried this. This is what I'm looking at. I'm into IT. Yay, it's tough there." I can relate. And it makes me think to myself, yeah, akudlalwa lapha. It's just that we can't sit and popa, which is sit phezulu, but for the brand again, we all can sit and say the worst of the worst, because the worst of the worst has happened to us. But because we respect our brand, we respect our company's brand that we've worked for, and we respect the future that God has in store for us still. We just, yeah, we say it and hold back, but it is really not easy at all in that world. But we ought to be there to survive. Restart your laptop, but everything will be fine. Hey, they'll say, did you shut down and restart? Exactly, sis. You like, I've been doing that since I walked in this morning. Oh, I would just want to hang myself when my laptop had a problem. Go, my IT guys, stories on end. And it's like they take it, they pack it there, and we've got a backlog. What must I do? I also, Lapo, you have deadlines to meet. Your boss is not buying the stone. It's as if you also made this thing to be broken so that you don't work. Oh, Kosiam, don't remind me, Chabil. For now, I'm free like a bird, happy as ever. Ay, 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 ay. I feel I've walked that journey close to 30 years. I've had my fair share, guys. Let me enjoy my life. I have your number, ma'am. A study from Garden Route who spoke. Oh, sister, you support me this side. Oh my word, my baby, perfect. Yes, sister, perfect. When I get will speak some more. And I'm trying to think good. Oh, yes, we did talk about it's exactly that what we spoke about. Good, when you are relaxed, let's do A, B, C, D. You know what I'm talking about. So I was looking at the name. I'm like, let's do something, but we've already spoken about it, and I just like that. And guys, may you continue to enjoy your work and don't allow any devil to whisper these funny hootes to say, oh no, if you are in corporate, there's something wrong with you. Mentally, we are sharp, we learn every day, we are the stars that we are. When their time is right, you can then try something else, or you can do it while in corporate and see if it works out. I honestly do not promote it to leave your job and go start something while you're working, and let it ask someone that you can trust who shares the same vision to run with it. And when you really start seeing it take her off, and it's stable, then you can hang your apron. But having to take your pension money and you go into this big thing and you start a huge business in a corner office in Sentin, and everything goes sour. It is a sad thing when you have to start afresh. But I was listening to someone, and funny enough, I've come across two people. One guy yesterday, and I'll share with you, who started, and let me not mix it here because it's going to make this life longer. I'll come back with these stories. I've written them down, and I'll come and share lessons learned. But yes, ma'am, we call it the week. Perfect. So, guys, stay blessed, continue pushing. And whichever way, if it's corporate, hold your head high. When the going gets tough, just breathe in and out. And when it's time for you to leave, don't just pack, just kanjalo, and walk out. Have an exit plan, work on it, and leave in good terms, because the world is so small. You're going to meet that boss somewhere else, believe you me. They'll be sitting in the panel in another company. Especially if you are a specialist like us, Nabo Chablil. I'm in risk, and I tend to end up meeting people that I've worked with before, because it's a specialized industry. Just don't do it. And just don't do it in general. No matter how fall you are, just live in good terms. And if you are in business, keep on pushing and apply the disciplines that I've shared here, that I've learned from corporate, that I'm now applying in my own business. And if we are still studying, oh wow, the way corner, knowledge is power. Just when you are done, don't think you know it all. Life will humble you. There's people who know so much. Just be willing to learn and exchange notes and just be humble. You go far in life and keep well, guys. God bless. Have an awesome weekend. And thank you once again for being here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And Chamlile, thank you, my darling. Thank you for being a member in this home, my corporate journey. Mwah.